Good morning, scholars. Happy Tuesday. Today for math, we are going to continue to make shapes. If you have Play-Doh or some sort of clay or toothpicks or anything at home, go ahead and gather them, and we are going to use them to practice after I show you the lesson. So let's get started. So, because we're not in the classroom, it's a little bit difficult for us to be using Play-Doh and clay and toothpicks to make different shapes. So what I'm going to do in today's lesson is I'm going to model for you 3 different shapes using sticks and Play-Doh. In this case, I'm going to use straight lines and dots. And what I want you guys to do is after we do our exit ticket, if you guys have resources at home, go ahead and practice making different shapes at home, whether it be with Play-Doh or clay or slime or anything that you have, and then do your independent practice. So today, I already have my lines laid out for me, so I know how many lines I'm gonna have to do. After I create my shape, I'm gonna pause for a second, and what I want you guys to do, I want you to yell in your loudest and proudest voice what shape I made. Now, remember in the last lesson, we talked about 3 different shapes, and those 3 shapes were a triangle, a square, and a hexagon. What do we know makes a triangle? There's 2 things that make up a triangle. Go ahead and share out loud what makes a triangle. You're right. It has 3 sides and 3 corners. So a triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. We also talked about a square. Go ahead and your whisper say, what makes a square? You're right. A square is made up of 4 equal parts and 4 corners. So a square is made up of 4 equal parts and 4 corners. And the last shape we talked about was a hexagon. Go ahead and, in your craziest voice, share what makes a hexagon. Yeah, a hexagon is with 6 sides and 6 corners. A hexagon is with 6 sides and 6 corners. Okay, scholars, so I'm going to get started using my lines and my dots to create shapes. And remember, once I'm done, I want you to share in your loudest and proudest voice what shape Ms. Samajic made. I'm gonna rotate my stick. That's a little bit bigger so you guys. All right, scholars, in your loudest and proudest voice, what did Ms. Samajic just create using her straight lines and her dots? Drum roll, please. Let's see if you got it right. Ms. Samajic drew a square. All right, scholars, I'm going to try to trick you. Let's see what Ms. Samajic draws now. All right, scholars. Oh, I'm not done. I almost got tricked. I just used the lines, but remember, I said I was going to use dots to determine my corners. All right, scholars, in your loudest and proudest voice, what did Miss Samajic draw? Drum roll, please. Let's see if we got it right. I drew a triangle. This one, I'm gonna get you. I know I am. All right, scholars, in your loud and proud voice, what shape did Miss Samajit draw? Drum roll, please. I drew a hexagon. Now, this hexagon is a little bit different from what I drew yesterday in yesterday's lesson. Remember, my hexagon yesterday went like this. And that's correct. And so is this, because remember, a hexagon has 6 sides and 6 corners. So as long as your shape has 6 sides and 6 corners, you are drawing a hexagon. All right, scholars, it is now time for our exit ticket, which means you are going to pause the video and go to our Google Classroom, complete the exit ticket on your own, and then come back and check your work. Now, today's exit ticket is actually a little bit of a review of a lesson that we learned earlier this year. And in this exit ticket, you're going to draw a line to show where the shapes go. So you have solid shapes, and then you have flat shapes. So remember, a solid shape is a 3D shape. So it's like the Sharpie. It's a 3D shape. And a flat shape is like this piece of paper. It's flat. It would be as if I drew a triangle on the piece of paper. There's not any dimension to it. So go ahead and pause the video, complete the exit ticket on Google Classroom, come back and check your work, and then you guys can have a wonderful day. All right, scholars, now that you guys completed your exit ticket on your own at Google Classroom, let's go ahead and check our work. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make the line a little bit smaller so you guys can clearly see. So this shape, I see that it has dotted lines right here, and it looks to be 3D. So I know that this shape is solid. Now this gray shape, I don't see any dotted lines, and it doesn't look to be 3D. So I know that it's flat. Now this shape down here, I see dotted lines, and it also looks to be 3D. So I need to draw it solid. Let's go up here. This shape also looks flat. I know it goes to my flat shape. Now this shape, I see that there's dotted lines to make it look 3D, which means that it is solid. And last but certainly not least, I see that this triangle is flat and there's no dimension to it. So I know that it's flat. All right, scholars, way to go today and really push your thinking in drawing shapes. Like I said, if you guys have any resources at home that you guys can create shapes with, go ahead and do so. If not, you can use a piece of paper and a pencil and continue to practice making those shapes. Continue to complete our flashcards, which are linked down below, and complete your independent practice. I will see you tomorrow for our last day of math in your kindergarten school year. Have a wonderful day. I miss you all so much. Bye.